Hi, I'm Courtney.
Hi, I'm McKenna.
We are obviously sisters.
We are not twins.
No, we are actually just a little under 2 years apart, so we are Italian twins. Sorry, my dog is being needy today. This is Teddy. Say hi. Say hi. He hears Mama talking, so he has to come snuggle. Today we wanted to do a review for you on a foundation, the Maybelline Dream Velvet. We've heard a lot of reviews about it. Hold on, let me put him down. Okay. Heard a lot of good reviews about it, and we wanted to try it out ourselves because not many people really want to use a high-end, expensive brand of foundation when you can use a drugstore foundation that works probably very similar to a nice foundation. So we wanted to find you guys a good foundation. She has very different skin type than me. She has very oily and very red on the cheeks foundation. Not foundation. She has a very red skin. Where I'm a little tongue-tied today. I have more of a combination, but it gets very dry during the wintertime, which is what's going on right now. So we wanted to review this and kind of give you an idea of from two different types of skin types, how it does for each. You'll see us do a talk through of us putting it on, and then we also do our makeup. We'll list everything below. We kind of talk about it a little bit during that part. We're going to go about our day and do check-ins. It is around 1 o'clock right now. So we'll kind of do a couple hours, kind of give you a good idea of how it's working. And, yeah, so far I'm really liking it. It's flawless. It's not heavy at all. Like, I can't tell I have makeup on. We set our faces, and
you'll see that a little later.
Yeah, and, everything is going good so far. So we'll keep you updated, and thank you for watching our video. So we're going to go ahead and do our primers, which I'm going to be using Nivea, the Sensitive Post-Shave Balm. Love this stuff.
And to keep it kind of on a nice baseline where we're not having different primers and maybe the foundation worked better on one or the other because of the primer, I'm going to be using the same primer.
Yeah.
Now, I have used this primer and personally did not like it as much, but once again, as a baseline, I am going to use it.
So we do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. We're also, well, I'm going to be using Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Love this stuff. For a drugstore instant eraser. Now this stuff has a weird texture. It's kind of creamy and it's very watery. You don't need much, and you don't want to rub it in too long. If you're interested.
Tacky.
You kind of want to rub it in and then start tapping it in until it gets tacky for you. We're going to do half our face with Beauty Blender and half our face with a brush. We're just going to see what is better for this type of velvet foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a Beauty Blender on this side of my face.
I'm going to go ahead and start with my brush. And I'm going to go do my left side.
And with a Beauty Blender, if you've never used one, you make sure that you tap. You don't want to rub it in. That's a lot of mistakes people make. That's why it doesn't look blended. It's covering pretty good. Actually, it's not like... It actually feels hydrating.
Yeah. It matches my skin tone pretty perfectly.
I mean...
If I could just get my hair on my face.
It's gonna, I think it might look good.
Now, see, for me, it's not the going on that counts. It's the
lasting.
Stay, yeah.
Which my makeup lasts pretty well as long as I set it. That's important to set your powder. Now, if you're very dry, setting your powder with, let's say, setting your foundation with a powder form can be more drying and stick to your skin. So don't use too much if you're going to do that. stick to more of like a spray. But it's very important that you set your foundation. Are you liking this so far?
I was like, no, with the brush, this side, I mean, yeah, you can see it, like this coverage right here. And see, I have naturally like reddish cheeks and splotchy. And I've been trying to work on that.
Get it on my eyes.
Skincare and everything. But it's still there. And so I like something that's like a heavier coverage, but that isn't gonna weigh down my skin.
That doesn't look super cakey.
Exactly. The last thing I want to do is look cakey, and I don't want my pores to get clogged.
Yeah. That looks good. I don't know if you can see, but between this side of the face and this side of the face, it's more...
Just looking at myself every once in a while, looking at the half face, it reminds me of Phantom of the Opera. I'm just like, I don't know. A little bit of...
You can definitely tell it's covering up the little bit of redness that I have. Barely have any, but I'm having some like breakouts. I don't know if you can see that. But I'm having some breakouts, so if it can cover that, I'll be happy. So this is, I'm going in with a brush on this side. Alright.
And I know some of you guys are probably yelling at me going, why are you putting foundation on your eyelids? I'm telling you, my eyelids I feel like are so discolored versus my face that if I don't, you can see the discoloration even with my eyeshadow on.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So I cover my eyelids.
It just makes everything equal color-wise. You don't want like 3 different colors going on in your face. You want to make sure you bring it back to your ears so your ears, if you pull your hair back, is not separated from your color of your face. Because when you do put on foundation, you're technically changing the color of your face, even though it's supposed to match your skin tone. It's really matching the skin tone on your neck. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize, that you're not supposed to match the skin tone on your face, because your face and your neck are a different color. So that's why a lot of people have one color on your face and one color on your neck. So that's one really important thing. If you're having trouble matching and finding a color, it's just not blending into your neck properly. It's because you're supposed to match here.
Now, so far, I'm really liking how this feels.
Yeah.
You know, it's not heavy.
Like, I don't feel like I have foundation on. My favorite foundation I have is Estee Lauder Double Wear. And you can feel it a little bit. But this, it feels like I just put a lotion on that dried.
Yeah.
Because it's very, like, hydrating and moisturizing almost. I don't know if that even makes sense, but it feels really good. I didn't use much either. I'm just making sure I'm covering up my red spots.
Now, I definitely will say, I like how this goes on better with a brush. Just because I can already kind of see, especially in my eye area, where I feel like this is a little darker over here than it is in here. And that's just because with my brush, I feel like I can get in the creases a little bit better. I feel like it really smooths, blend things in. Whereas this, you kind of have to tap it in. You don't really rub it in or brush it in.
Yeah.
But overall, I feel like the foundation
good.
Went on very smoothly. I don't feel cakey.
There's no, like, separation. Or you know how you get some foundation stick to dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even put on moisturizer today. Because I really wanted to test this out on dry skin. And it's not sticking anywhere. It's kind of... Well, it's not transferring onto my hands. And that's even without being set. So far I'm really liking it. We will keep testing it.
And see, because I know there are some foundations where you put it on and then say you have really bad acne that you're trying to cover up or anything. If you go back over it with the foundation again, sometimes it has a tendency to move. So you're not really able to layer it and you're only able to like move it around. But I get red right in this area and it looks like I'm a little bit red right there right now. So we're gonna see, definitely buildable.
Yeah.
So if you put on one layer and feel like it's not enough coverage,
You can put on more.
You can definitely go back.
But I would say it's definitely medium to full coverage.
Yeah.
More on the medium side if you're super red. But for me, it only took one layer. But I'm not super red. She has more red spots on her cheeks than me. So,
yeah,
she needed a little bit more. But she barely put it. And it didn't take much foundation at all to do a whole face. So, keep that in mind because you can always add foundation. You don't want to squirt out too much and then you can't get it back in the tube. It's done for. So, so we're going to go ahead and do the rest of our makeup. We'll, let you know what we use down at the bottom. But we'll speed through this so you don't have to watch us do the whole thing.
So far for my eyes, I have used the Rio palette and I used the coconut milk in here. And then for the crease, I used this bad boy right here in my Coastal Scents palette. And then I also used this one for just the really outer corner to really bring in that smoky eye.
So I'm going to go in with a mix between Nectar and light brown. So let's see. Here's Nectar right here and light brown here. And I'm going to put this in my crease. Make sure you blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend. Most important part of doing eyeshadow. You can make something that looks awful beautiful if you just use extra time and blend.
And then for me, whenever I have any fallout, because some of the foundations and some of the eyeshadows that I use do have some fallout. That's the sacrifice I make for having those colors, because those colors are like beautiful. I just take a little bit of my Coty Airspun loose face powder and just take a little bit on the end of a nice powder brush and just kind of wipe it away. Whatever you do, don't like rub it, because that's how you just that's how you make yourself a baby gut question face.
So Coastal Scents.
Yes, we don't have to speak, do we?
I'm just going to put it all over my lid today and highlight the inner corner.
Trio. Steve Jobs put these in. That's
Oh, I want the highlighter color. Okay.
concentrate. Eyebrows in your face.
Fresh right be pear. Yeah.
Maybe we should show you guys that. Alright.
Light brown. I'm taking a
Now, I know this is a bronzer, but it is way too dark for me to be a bronzer. It is the perfect color for me as a contour, so I use this as my contour. Now, I do have the Stila, but it's a little too dark for me.
So this side is doing good.
Doesn't say the color. Okay. This is Elf's Lip Stain. And it is one of the prettiest colors. And I put this on, and then right over it I put my Too Faced Melted Berry.
I thought about highlight today.
Alright guys, so I'm currently at Panera Bread with my mother. Say hi.
Hello.
And so far it's done really good. I've noticed just a little bit of like clumping around my nose, but besides that, nothing really too terribly bad. It's about 3 o'clock right now. I'm not oily. Usually I'm oily. I mean, of course I have the highlight on so you can see that, but besides that, everything's good.
All right, first update. It is doing good. It is almost 4 and it is not doing anything bad. I'm really liking it. So doing a check-in, it is 5:35 and we're doing good. Excuse the lighting, we're in the car going to multiple stores to try to find a makeup palette because we want it.
On a mission.
Kenna, how's yours doing?
Mine's doing pretty good. I feel pretty, I mean, I'm not greasy. The only issue that I seem to be having is like right in my nose and mouth area. I feel like it's kind of separating a little bit, but that's also where I get the oiliest. So it could just because that's where I get really super oily. If you can see, it's kind of like separating a little bit. But other than that, I have to say I really like it. I don't feel super oily everywhere else. I feel like it's stayed pretty matte all day long. So yeah.
Yeah, and it holds, all my makeup is holding on. You can see that's not oil, that is a very intense highlight. And you can see my contour and everything still. So we're doing good, and now we're off to Walmart to see if we can find this makeup palette. So hopefully we do. Alright, we'll check back in a little bit. It is 9 o'clock at night, and we're doing our last check-in. I really liked this foundation, actually. She's cute. There's only one spot, and it's right here on my chin. And it kind of like stuck some dry spot, but it's not bad. I mean, I've had some really bad foundations, and this actually is really good for, I mean, a drugstore. This is probably one of my favorite drugstore foundations.
I mean, it's pretty good. My only thing is, you know, I
for
have
oily
skin. It's not terrible, especially if you have combination where maybe you have a few spots that are slightly oily, or if you have like normal skin where you're like, I don't get oily or dry, just kind of normal skin, I feel like it'd be very good for you. But if you're someone like me who has really oily areas, like this area right here, the nose and like the mouth and chin area, oily as can be. So right now I'm having kind of a hard time. I can feel the oil. I did a check-in earlier and I could already feel it. I was sitting in front of my computer and I could just see it all in here. But everywhere else was fine.
Yeah, she looks flawless up here on her cheeks. It's all right here in her nose and her mouth area.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue. So it is very good for if you are normal to combination skin, or on the drier side because it's very hydrating. If you're super oily, maybe on the bad zones, because she knows her bad zones are around her nose and her mouth, around this area. Maybe get a mattifying primer, or really, when you go in, use a very good powder and really pack it.
Or even carry around a little matte powder, little loose matte powder. And every once in a while, when you can kind of feel yourself getting oily, just tap a few little areas. For me, definitely be around the nose area and right in here, because I could definitely tell throughout the day there is some separation of the foundation right there. And I honestly think that was just from all the oil right there. But everywhere else, it was flawless. It stayed on my skin. I didn't feel like there was a lot of transfer.
Yes.
Like, if I touched my face at all, I didn't feel like I had it all over my hands.
And same thing with phones. Because some foundations, you'll call somebody, and the second you move your hand away, you got makeup all over your phone. That didn't happen. And it doesn't feel cakey at all.
It's not very heavy.
No.
So if you like something that does cover but isn't too terribly heavy, this is probably something that you would like to look into.
Well, and I have really big pores thanks to my mom. And it's not making them stand out, because some foundations like seep into my pores, literally make it look like I have pores the size of my eyeballs on my cheeks. So I really like this foundation for a cheap and an inexpensive foundation. I definitely, if you're going to buy this, go to Walmart. Or if you're going to do CVS, do it on a day that they have where you can spend $15, get the $5 rewards. Otherwise, you're going to spend at least $3 or $4 more than you need to.